why is my dog so timid and what can be done?
Dogs are timid for different reasons. And I feel that a lot of people say that dogs are timid because something must have happened to them, before I got them. And that's really the case in a lot of rescues. And I'm not going to disagree with that per se, that like, hey, that doesn't happen because humans, unfortunately, unfortunately sometimes abuse and neglect dogs. But I think to the degree that I see that particular comment comes up is that, it's probably not the case. I think that genetics has a lot to do with it. Dogs can actually benefit from being a certain degree timid around humans because that's how they're going to get along with us. Because if they were all just biting us all the time, we wouldn't necessarily be they wouldn't necessarily be man's best friend. So, I don't like how many of those bites could you take before you said, "Hey, I don't know about you."
Yeah. After 6 months old and they're an adult. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So you can't keep getting bit, right? Because it's just not right. So a dog can be timid, and there's a variety of reasons why your dog might be timid. It might be genetic, it might be environmental. But here's the good news. The good news is you can do something about it. And one of the things that doesn't work for for getting your dog to be less timid is petting them when they're afraid. It's actually, that's really kind of counterintuitive what you should do. So what you shouldn't do is your dog is nervous and afraid and you should go over to your puppy, pick them up and start petting them and telling them that the world is going to be okay. Well, the world is going to be okay, but, don't pet your puppy when they're afraid. What I really recommend doing is starting to teach your dog some of these really basic skills, how to stay, how to walk with you, how to come to you. Because what you're going to find in your dog's life is as your dog is navigating our human world, that those three skills are going to happen to a degree much higher than anything else that the dog is ever going to do. So begin to teach your dog some useful skills. I highly recommend the play stay. I'll always recommend it. It's just an incredible skill for a dog to have. Because then, if you teach the dog how to stay in your living room, if you teach the dog how to stay in your kitchen, then you can teach the dog how to stay in a hotel, at the airport, or in your RV, on your boat, and anywhere that you can imagine that you would take your pet with you. You're going to use that skill and you're going to generalize it to show your dog that. So, number one is teach your dog, how to stay somewhere. But the other thing, teach yourself to not pet your insecure dog. Now, there is a difference between holding an insecure dog, which can be really beneficial, and petting them. And it seems pretty subtle, but if you just pick up your puppy and you hold them in your clutches, in your hand, and you put your hand over their shoulder and do nothing else, that will have a calming effect on the dog. But if you can feel their muscles shaking underneath your hand and then you begin to stroke their head and you talk to them at the same time, that's going to work against you and you're going to build more insecurity because the dog doesn't know how to manage the things that are going on. So there's a lot that can be done, but I would definitely stay with place training and whatever, regardless of the reason that your dog is timid, just know that something can be done and your dog can be helped.